Hi, I'm Daphne Jones from Smart Money Chick TV, and let's talk life insurance. So, who's who in a life insurance policy? I mean, the human beings, or a better word would be legal persons that make up a life insurance policy. So, generally, there are four parties to a life insurance policy. There's the owner slash policyholder, the insured, the beneficiary, the payee. Now, these roles can be filled by one person or four completely different ones. Let's take the owner, for instance. The owner has complete control of the policy. They can change the beneficiaries on the policy or the amount that each beneficiary receives. They can surrender the policy. They can cancel the policy. They can borrow cash from the policy if there's any in there, if there's any available. In other words, they have complete control of the policy. But notice I didn't say they have to pay for the policy. Generally, the owner or policyholder is the person that pays for the policy, but they don't have to be one and the same. Then you've got the insured. And it's just what it says. The insured is the party that if this person dies, then the death benefit is paid out. They're insured. They're the one who, if a physical is required, they take the physical. This is who the policy is on, let's say. And they can adjust the policy, but only if they're the policy owner. Remember, that's why I'm doing the video. They don't all have to be the same person. The insured person does not have to be the owner of the policy. We talked about this in a previous video, particularly about who you can insure. You can insure more than just your spouse, your current spouse, or your kids, things of that nature. And then the third party is the beneficiary. This is the person who receives the death benefit payout when the insurer dies, when the insured person dies. This person, generally, the beneficiary, can't make any changes to the policy ever, unless, of course, they're the policy owner. So yeah, we keep going back to the owner of the policy. Pretty important there. And then we have the payee. If you do some research on the internet, they won't mention the payee and the owner as separate individuals, but they can be. Now, the payee is just what it says. It's the person that pays the monthly or quarterly premium, however the decision's been made. The information they get is when the premium is late or when it's time to get their payment information. They have limited access to information about the policy, even though they're paying for it. So why is this important? Again, we've talked about in other videos about you being able to take out life insurance if you have an economic interest in this person's well-being, that something would happen to you economically if this person died. So generally, again, insurance is usually taken out on spouses and kids. But let's say you've decided that you want to insure your parent, or you want to insure an adult child. They're single, what have you, but you want to insure them because you're going to be responsible. You have an insurable interest. You're the one that's going to be responsible in the event of their death. So it's important that you know the parts of this policy and where you stand legally. Because simply because you initiated the policy and you're the one making payments on the policy does not mean that you're going to remain beneficiary of the policy. There's been times with clients where they've set up a policy, particularly say on the older parent, and they want to make sure that there's money in there for burial and things of this nature. They've set the policy up and they're making payments on the policy. Well, if they just in the course of designing, of having the policy written up by the agent, they don't make sure that they're the owner of that policy and they've left their parent as owner of the policy, their parent could change the beneficiary, whether they know it or not. The parent may, be in declining health. There's a caregiver there, and all of a sudden, or quite frankly, another spouse, and the beneficiaries changed. And no one has to be notified of a beneficiary change if the owner does it. These other three parties are not notified when changes are made to the policy by the owner. They don't know. You don't know if you stop being the beneficiary. Again, the payee is not notified if there have been any changes within the policy. So you need to know where you stand. So it is important. So insurance policies are something that you need to take a look at, even though you set them up years ago. You've been making the payments. You believe they're in force. You still need to take a look at them and find out where you stand and get some information on where you do stand. So it's always good to know what's involved before something happens. You need to know what you're paying for. That's why I created the channel, to get information out there. So look, if you want to know more about money and how to protect it and grow it, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. If you have any questions about life insurance, we'd like to hear them. Ask them below. You can put them below. We check the comments and we answer them. So, hey, this is Daphne Jones from Smart Money Chick TV talking about life insurance. And remember, keep it basic, keep it simple, get insured.